Hello everybody, welcome to Election Night in America 2022. Just a disclaimer before we start this election night. I use my 2020 Senate predictions for this. And disclaimer, some of these candidates might not be running, some of them are just perennial, and some of them are just doesn't make sense. So I just made it out of what I could find. So let's get started. This is Senate after 2020. 50 Republicans, 50 Democrats. With Joe Biden winning the presidency, the Democrats have a majority. It's now 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and we got some projections. Pat Leahy wins re-election in the state of Vermont to another term as Vermont Senator. The President Pro Tem of the Senate wins re-election. In Kentucky, Rand Paul wins re-election to another term. Rand Paul wins re-election. He was expected to have a competitive race if Andy Beshear jumped in. Beshear didn't jump in. Rand Paul has an easy re-election. In South Carolina, the only black Republican in the Senate, Tim Scott, wins re-election to another term, a second full term in the Senate. In Indiana, 15% of the vote in, Pete Buttigieg versus Todd Young. But Todd Young is ahead by 14,000 votes, 50 to 44. In the state of Georgia, 3% of the vote in, Doug Collins, the incumbent, versus Stacey Abrams, the Democratic challenger. Only 3% of the vote in, 55-40. Collins has a lead, 7,600 to 4,700. In the battle for the United States Senate, 38 Democrats, 31 Republicans. It's now 7:30 p.m. and we got poll closings in North Carolina and Ohio. In the state of Ohio, Rob Portman wins re-election. He defeats Tim Ryan. Tim Ryan didn't pull a good campaign, but Rob Portman is expected to win by more than 10 points. In the state of North Carolina, Jeff Jackson, the Democrat, Pat McCrory, the Republican. This is to replace Richard Burr. Pat McCrory was the Republican governor and former Republican governor. Jeff Jackson, the Democrat state senator. In the state of Indiana, Todd Young v. Pete Buttigieg. It's too close to call. Young is still ahead by almost 89,000 votes. In the state of Georgia, 10% of the vote in, Doug Collins versus Stacey Abrams. Collins has a 19,000 vote lead at this point over Stacey Abrams. In the United States Senate, the battle for the Senate, 32 Republicans, 38 Democrats. It's now 8 p.m. Richard Selby wins re-election to another term in the United States Senate from Alabama. In Oklahoma, James Lankford wins re-election to another term. In Missouri, Roy Blunt wins re-election easily after beating Austin Peterson in the primary. In Connecticut, Richard Blumenthal, the incumbent, wins another term. In Illinois, Tammy Duckworth wins re-election to another term. In Maryland, Chris Van Hollen wins re-election to another term. In Pennsylvania, Senator Pat Toomey versus Governor Tom Wolf. Governor Wolf is ahead 50 to 48, or 6,000 votes. In the Florida Senate race, Marco Rubio versus Andrew Gillum, the Tallahassee mayor. Marco Rubio, the incumbent. Rubio is ahead by only 9,000 votes. In New Hampshire, Governor Chris Sununu versus Senator Maggie Hassan. Hassan, the incumbent, has the lead. In the battle for the United States Senate, 41 Democrats, 35 Republicans. It's now 8:30 p.m. We got Arkansas poll closing, and we got two very important calls to make. In the state of Arkansas, John Bozeman wins re-election to a third term. In Indiana, Todd Young wins re-election to a second term, the first key race of the night called. The final results, almost Young wins 89,000 votes. In Pennsylvania, Tom Wolf defeats Pat Toomey, the incumbent. The governor will be determine the governor will be elected to the United States Senate. Right now, 30% of the vote in. It's an 8-point lead for Governor Wolf. In the United States Senate, 42 Democrats, 37 Republicans, 1 pickup for the Democrats. It's now 9 p.m. and we got in our projection. Andrew Cuomo, who defeated Majority Leader Chuck Schumer in the primary, will go on to win. In Colorado, former presidential candidate Michael Bennet will win re-election in Colorado. In Kansas, Jerry Moran will win re-election to another term. In Louisiana, John Neely Kennedy wins re-election to another term. In South Dakota, Minority Whip John Thune wins re-election to another term. In North Dakota, John Hoeven will win re-election to another term. In Wisconsin, it's too close to call between Paul Ryan and Tony Evers. Ryan, the former Speaker of the House. Evers, the incumbent governor of Wisconsin. It's too close to call in the state of Arizona. Only initial results: Senator Mark Kelly versus incumbent Governor Doug Ducey. The current ballot for the United States Senate: 44 Democrats, 41 Republicans. It's now 10 p.m. We got in our projection. Mike Lee wins re-election to another term in the state of Utah. In Iowa, it's too close to call between Terry Branstad and Fred Hubble. In Nevada, there's no results yet, but it's too close to call between Catherine Cortez Masto, the incumbent, and Adam Laxalt, the challenger. In the United States Senate battle for the United States Senate, 44 Democrats, 42 Republicans. It's now 11 p.m. We got some projections. Tom Steyer will replace Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, to be the next Senator of California. In Oregon, Ron Wyden will win another term. In Washington, Patty Murray will win re-election to another term. In Hawaii, Brian Schatz will win re-election to another term. In Idaho, Mike Crapo will win re-election to another term. It's too close to call in Iowa. Branstad has a 5-point lead. In Wisconsin, Evers has a 1,200 vote lead. In Arizona, Ducey has a 1,200 vote lead. In Florida, Rubio has a 50,000 vote lead. In New Hampshire, Sununu has a 5,000 vote lead. In Georgia, Collins has almost a 80,000 vote lead. In North Carolina, McCory is ahead by 8,000 votes. Ballot for the United States Senate: 48 Democrats, 43 Republicans. It's now 11:34 p.m. Marco Rubio wins re-election to another term in the United States Senate, defeating Andrew Gillum by about 50,000 votes. That means 48 Democrats, 44 Republicans. It's now 12 a.m. and we've got projection. Tony Evers will defeat Paul Ryan. It's going to be close, 9,000 votes, but Evers will have a 2-point lead at the end of the night. That means 49 Democrats, 45 Republicans, 2 pickups for the Democrats so far. It's now 12:05 a.m. and we got major projection. Democrats will retain control of the United States Senate because Mark Kelly wins re-election to another term in the United States Senate, defeating Doug Ducey by 29,000 votes and counting. In Iowa, Terry Branstad wins the election to fill out Chuck Calisto's term. He wins by 5 percentage points. The battle for the United States Senate, Democrats win 50-45, with Vice President Harris breaking the tie for the Democrats. It's now 12:30 a.m. Catherine Cortez Masto wins re-election to another term in Nevada, defeating Laxalt by 5 percentage points. That puts Democrats with a majority of 51-45. North Carolina, Jackson is ahead by 12,000 votes. In Georgia, Collins is ahead by almost by 51,000 votes. In New Hampshire, Sununu is ahead by 6,000 votes. It's now 1 a.m. Lisa Murkowski wins re-election to another term in Alaska. Jackson is now ahead by 2,000 votes in the state of North Carolina. In Georgia, Doug Collins is ahead. In New Hampshire, Sununu is ahead. 51-46 is the battle for the United States Senate. In 1:30 a.m., Doug Collins wins re-election to another term, defeating Stacey Abrams. 51-47, and it's now 12:15 a.m. Jeff Jackson wins, defeating Pat McCrory, and Chris Sununu wins, defeating Maggie Hassan, the Democratic incumbent. That means 52 Democrats, 48 Republicans, 2 pickups. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.